John Jackson. He's the president of William Jessup University, a liberal arts college right here in Rocklin, California. You got about 1,600 students, 1,800?
We actually have 1,800 now,
I hear
Stuart.
you're growing.
We're growing. It's good.
That's awesome. Tell me about your university.
Well, we were started in 1939. It was started as a Bible college, but in 2004 we moved to Rocklin, California. 2011 I became the president, and by the grace of God, Stuart, we've tripled in size the last 9 years.
That is awesome. And what's interesting, at least for this conversation, is you're meeting in person.
We are. It's been an amazing blessing. We have a great relationship with Placer County, with the city of Rocklin, and our surrounding communities, so we are allowed to meet face-to-face. We have face-to-face and online. Both of them are available, but our students are loving it. We have about 1,850 students here in Rocklin, and we have a small center in San Jose with about 200 students.
How do you do that? I mean, what's it like being in class at your university?
Well, we pay attention to social distancing, so the desks are 6 feet apart. We don't require masks in the classroom. We do require them outside just to be safe, so we're trying to be responsible with the protocols, but at the same time exercise the freedom that we have.
What are your thoughts about the restrictions that are coming down from the government?
Well, let me just say this first of all. I want to be a person who prays for people in authority over me. I want to be a person who respects and honors, but quite frankly, I think our governor is confounded. He's confounded by the circumstances. I think the restrictions are ridiculous. We don't sacrifice our First Amendment freedoms on the altar of governmental edicts. And so I would just say to you, I love the governor as a man. I want to pray for him as a person, that he comes to a deep saving knowledge of Jesus. I think his edicts and his direction during COVID have been literally off the mark and horrifyingly chilling.
One thing that our attorneys have been paying attention to is whether the restrictions are the same for groups that are the same, for people that are gathering the same, but that's not what we're seeing here.
Not at all. In fact, I can go to Lowe's, I can go to Home Depot, I can go to a supermarket, and I can go to a number of other settings. In fact, go to a garden center in California and ask yourself if it's crowded, is there 6 feet distance, and does everybody have masks? And the answer is it's crowded, there's no 6 feet distance, and there's virtually no mask. I think it's unequal application of the restrictions.
Yeah, and that's the big concern we have, is just that it seems that the government has figured out that it can shut down churches if it chooses to, and Christian universities and private schools, and that's a major concern because that's not being equally applied. Now, we all have different opinions about what are reasonable restrictions,
right,
and we can have a conversation about that, but we just want it to be fair.
Well, yes, and I will say this, for my brothers and sisters who are in the southern part of the state, in Los Angeles County, for instance, they literally have been shut down as Christian universities. I'm very burdened by the unequal application of the law, the uneven application. And, you can shut down pro sports, they've done that pretty much, but at the same time, church is not non-essential. It's one thing to say a sporting event is non-essential. Church, think about the mental health consequences of what we're facing right now. Think about the societal impacts. These are huge issues, Stuart, and I'm so thankful for you folks at First Liberty. So thankful for the work that you do, and I appreciate your advocating in the public square for us.
Thank you for that. If you could speak directly to the governor, if you had 30 seconds on the phone with him, what would you say?
Yeah, Governor Newsom, we do not hate you. We love you, we care for you, we pray for you. But just as they said in the Old Testament, Moses said, "Let my people go." If you will let people worship, you will find the state covered in prayer and covered in the protection that comes from God on high. Let people worship, Governor. We respect you and honor you, but let people worship.
Very good. Anything else you want to share before I let you go?
I just want to encourage people who follow Jesus Christ, who are people of faith, and people of family and community across the state, to be consistent and be faithful. Be a loving person in worship, but be a loving person in the supermarket aisles. Be a loving person when you're at the car wash. Be a person of consistency and faith.
John Jackson, thank you for making time for us.
Thank you, Stuart.